Well, hi and welcome to my shop. Hey, it's the last day of 2018 and here I am looking at this radio trying to figure out what to do. So quick recap on where I'm at with this. I'm really focused on the 19 meter band, that's a 15 megahertz band, and its apparent poor reception. All the other bands appear to be strong and receiving well. It's got good sensitivity, but this particular band does not seem to have good sensitivity. The 19 meter band is an important band. Maybe at this point in time with the sunspot cycle where it is, it's not quite so important, but lots of stuff to be heard up there when conditions are good. So, and its band spread on this radio it really makes it worthwhile to get it working. My last impression is it's very, very weak. So I've spent quite a bit of time the last couple of days. I haven't been in here for a couple of days, but I have spent time studying the schematic here to the point where my eyeballs are beginning to droop down the front of my face. So where am I at here? So what I'm thinking is I've looked for a discrete component down in here that might affect only the 19 meter band. I can't find any such thing other than coils. And some of these coils that are operated when the 19 meter band is selected are the same coils are operating when other bands are selected. So the impression I've got here is there can't be an open circuited coil. There doesn't appear to be any capacitors in the way of the circuit that is specific to the 19 meter band. There doesn't seem to be anything special about it at all. So if other bands are working in the front end of the radio, so should this band. That's where I'm at. I really don't have any handle on this. So if we think of the radio as its own test instrument, then we can think of the IF as being a signal tracer that only responds to one frequency, and that's 455 kilohertz. So if something's... Yes, Peanut, I see you out there. If something's coming out of the speaker, then something must be presented at the front end of the IF at 455 kilohertz. If something shows up at 455 kilohertz coming out of the speaker, that means a local oscillator must be working and there must be a signal available at the antenna to match up with the local oscillator and make the 455. So when I tune the different bands and I listen to what comes out of the speaker, they all sound kind of the same in terms of signal strength except for the 19 meter band. And so that kind of tells me the problem has to be here in the front end of the radio. It can't be back here somewhere. It also tells me, wow, I'm not getting anywhere here. It just tells me that it's specific to the 19 meter band. So that was a bit of talk. It basically started here and went right around back to here again. I was hoping along that journey something might pop out and yell at me. Now let's see, the radio on the bench here as it sits does not have the loop antenna plugged in. Plugged, I guess you could say that. It has a speaker hooked up. I have the connection to the signal generator, which is running right now at the carefully selected frequency of 15169. Let's plug in the radio and turn it on. I could have had it going all this time. Volume is down. Switch is on. There we go. Now I'm pretty sure that I cannot operate this radio successfully without the push buttons plugged in. So that's the first thing we're going to deal with, is the unplugged push buttons. They're back in the radio cabinet. I do not want to take them out. I want to leave them in there. So it's a simple matter of looking at where the wires are that go up to those push button switches, because the audio signal is carried on it, and applying a proper short circuit should bring back the audio. So now where is that? Okay, so the audio is going up here. You can see quite clearly there's three terminals. One goes to the chassis, and the other two, one of them is shielded here. One's coming from top of the volume control. Just got to short those two together. I'm pretty sure the speaker will make the speaker happy. Okay, volume down. And I won't need to plug in all those push buttons. Yeah, you really got to wonder why didn't they put the audio back here? Well, why did they mount it on the push buttons? The audio RCA plug you plug into. It's really awkward. All these radios are the same too. So I'm sure the answer is a manufacturing answer. There was some manufacturing reason. Hey, let's see. Bingo. Now that's full volume. That's kind of weak. Of course, I'm on the 19 meter band. Even the general volume is weak. Let me put a knob on here for the bands. Incidentally, when I'm doing stuff like this, see my fingers are back here. I'm very conscious that I'm sticking my hand into the back of a radio. So the reason I say those things is, A, you might be wondering, but B, if you're fiddling around with your radio, you got to learn to do these same sort of self-safety things, which may not be apparent when you're watching me. You may think, oh, he's not thinking. Most of the time you're correct on that. 31 meter band right now. So we're not even on the 19 meter band. No real antenna, just a signal generator is probably why it's quiet. "19 meter band. Volume up full. The B band. It's 19. So distinctly different on the 19. In fact, I'm not going to turn the volume. I'm just going to flip this because it's not loud anywhere. Three shortwave bands, excluding band B, which is handled differently in the radio. Is that a hint right there? So this top one here is 16 megahertz. It's a 16 to 13 meter band. A megahertz is like 16 to 22 or something like that. It sure seems like 19 is quite different from the others, just in terms of the general hiss. The general hiss. Okay, let's feed a signal into this guy here. We'll put him about midway, and we'll try to find it with the signal generator. Up a level. Nobody home. Full blast. It doesn't bode well. Okay, so I thought it was partially receiving. let's flip to the higher band. Should be able to pick this up about middle, should be around 20. $18. So loud and clear, 18, strong signal. How weak can we get it? So the radio, I believe, is actually picking up a lot of signal from here. There's a strong signal sent up here to operate this all the time when I have this set here. So even as I reduce the actual output here, this takes over. That's why I can keep reducing. It sounds the same all the time. So I'm going to kill this. Try it again. Gone. Gone. More gone than I expected. What happened? Anyway, here. 17. Another lesson about to be learned here. 18.5. There it is. Really not receivable at the times 100. 1000. From my experience, this is not a strong signal. I'm sorry, the other way around. This is not a strong radio. Hey. Everybody stop for a second. How about we put the radio on full power? Now, that would be a good idea, chum. Okay, so everything got louder. Interestingly enough, it looks like the radio tuned away a little bit. So that's two indications of the local oscillator being sensitive to voltage changes in the radio. Yeah, that's the other interesting, curious problem I found last video. I'm not pursuing it on this video. I've just got it in the back of my head here. Right here in the back of my head. While we carry on with this 19 meter band thing. Okay, now with the radio on full blast, let's just repeat things here. So I'm on the 16 to 22, 16 to 13 meter band, 16 to 22 megahertz. 18 comes in here. Very weak. It's very, very weak. So I wonder if there's a weakness here that's weakening a lot of stuff, but it's really strongly weakening the 19 meter band. I wonder. Okay, now we'll go to the 19 meter band. Without changing the signal strength, we'll see if we can pick this up. Radio's quiet as can be now. So where frequency wise, we're going to do this, get down around the right area. Down in through here. Do that. So I can read the frequency right on the dial here, by the way. It's quite accurate too. That's 16, 15, or 15 right in here. Nothing. Full power. Full volume. Thought I heard it. Okay, so I barely hear something, and I'm not sure it's the right frequency at all. 16 megahertz. That's you know what that is? That's like 100. That's like a double the IF high. Okay, so it's tuned in the middle. The middle of this band. Let me just look at the dial here. Middle of this band is basically 15,150. So let's think about it. 15,150 16085. You know what that is? That is roughly, very roughly, double the IF away. Local oscillator way, way, way off. That could be one of these two peak situations, and I've got the wrong peak. How do we sort this out? Okay, so if the radio's front end is really tuned to a megahertz away from here, double the IF. 16. Okay, let's go down there. Maybe we'll hear it. There it is. 15175. That's roughly where the radio is tuned right now, but look at how weak it is. Barely coming through. So the signal has got to be strong some distance into the radio. It must be strong on the antenna. So surely I can start there, measure it somehow, and then move into the radio step by step until I find the signal has disappeared. I will have crossed the bad component at that point. It's just standard signal tracing. The problem is I don't have a tracer that's going to work at this frequency here. Or do I? A good question. Or do I? Maybe if we just go up a little higher. Maybe this radio is going to do it for me here. Let's get this guy going. So we'll turn him up to 15. Now the antenna from this guy is sitting, the antenna lead is sitting right here in the open. So I want to put on some kind of clip that I can poke around the radio with and see what we can hear. Okay, that's a good idea. Let's try that. Okay, just a second here while I gotta get some connectors. There. Cable. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens here. Turn this one down, turn the other one up. That's supposed to go dead when you do that? Okay, so we're going to hook this right up to the antenna here. Exactly where the, let's turn it down, exactly where the signal generator is connected. Ground first. Whoa! Don't go flying in the radio like that. What just happened? This just started singing. What happened there? I didn't really do anything. Tell me this was shorted out or grounded all this time? Okay, everybody hold the fort. Where are we at? We're at super strong signal coming into the back of this radio. Oh, it's still really weak. Oh, what's happening? What's going on? What happened? Fixed it. I was just touching this stuff. It's going away now. Where's it going? Yeah, that's okay. So I've got my signal generator feeding the frequency counter again. Let me kill that. Oh, oh my, 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 oh my. Okay, okay, everything okay. Lessons being learned in all directions here. Now, usually I'm using my signal generator in a pretty, I could call it amateurish way, because I don't really care that much. As long as any old signals reach in the radio, I'm pretty happy most of the time. I don't need a calibrated signal. It's all just relative, you know, stronger or weaker. It's not precise. So I almost always have it running with this signal being fed up here. Maybe this has been causing me a lot more trouble than I've realized. So first of all, why the heck is this working now? Secondly, when I kill the signal to here, it's going to get stronger. Is there problems with the signal generator? I've never had anything happen that made me think that signal generator was acting up. Nothing. So why'd the radio suddenly get stronger? Band switch? No, can it really be that? Well, the answer is yeah, it could be this. Okay, cleaning the band switch. Something I should have done probably a long time ago. Okay, some of you are cheering at this point. Some of you. There's only one of you. There's only one of you, and it's you. Okay, so if you cheered a bit just now, that's fine. I don't mind. Okay, lots of light. We're going to do this with the radio operating. I have set radios on fire before, but not with WD, not with WD-40. Set them on fire with another kind of cleaner. Okay, let's just turn this down so we can see. Still a huge difference there. But this thing did come to life. I can't imagine it's the switch. I can't imagine it's the switch. It's not the switch. Well, let's go ahead. On a count of, I'm here now. Just a little dab will do it. Oh, that was a little more than a dab. Here we go. So, okay, can't be the switch that's doing it. I do declare the switch is free. Quite clearly. Okay, you know, another possibility is a wiring error. Gee. Could I have done that? Gee, yes. Likely? No, not likely. So which of these coils? It's this one here, I'm pretty sure. Huh. Isn't it this one? Wow. Let's try another band. Okay, if we go. So. Yeah, it was not that one. 19. This is the one I want to fiddle with. Turn her up. 15174. Okay, it's right there. So 15190 pointers roughly in the middle. 15190 is roughly in the middle. So okay, so that's okay. Again, just kind of going around in circles here. Now, that being the coil, so I'm just physically looking for components connected to these coil wires. The other coil wire, wow, it's in mind here. Looking for short circuits or anything at all that might show up here. Just up around here. And the other part of that coil is coil leads. It's just about impossible to see. It's just behind these capacitors I put in. So I'm not expecting a problem with the leads or anything. I'm just trying to examine where does everything go. And there is. So what I've discovered here, I don't think it's important, is a wire from this coil is going right across this coil here. I'm sure it's just, you know, just not a yeah, that's plenty loud. What's going on now? I got stronger. So I was just turning the slug inside here. And that's tuning the radio around, but it shouldn't make it any louder or quieter. Okay, let's compare bands. Wow, kind of sound the same. Let's tune the radio off the signal generator. No, it's gone quiet. Okay, should I expect this to produce the same hiss that the other bands produce? I think so. I don't see any reason not to. So I think what I'm after here is real annoying is what it is. Okay, getting back to using the radio as a yeah, that's right. Where were we? We were way back here. So we were really, I was just hooking this up, and the radio I'm working on kind of came to life mysteriously. Okay, let's go back to that. I'm not even sure what yeah, that's right. I was going to try to signal trace. Okay, starting here. I'll turn this radio down. The other one up. What I'll do is I'll tune it in. Okay. Now I'm going to turn down the sensitivity control on this radio because it has a meter here I can read. And of course you can't do that can't do it that way. Do it this way. Well, this is pretty poor. This is a pretty poor way of doing it. This thing's got automatic level control, everything going on. But anyway, I've got it set now. So this meter is at the top of its range. Now what I'm thinking is I can move forward. The antenna is connected here right now. I can move forward all the way up to, now this is a low impedance, like this is low impedance, so anywhere I put it, it's gonna, this is a stupid idea. That's what it boils down to. It's a dumb idea, Jim. Because anywhere I put this lead is just gonna knock. It's gonna knock. It's gonna knock for sure. It's going to knock that radio out. It's not going to knock the one I'm listening to. Yeah, so it's just going to knock everything out beyond. Well, yeah, no, it doesn't make sense what I'm saying. Oops, ding, I won. Tell him what he won. But you win. You won the chance to try something you're not sure is going to do anything. Okay, so what I want to get on, I want to get on something up above here. What's up above here that I can get on? The only thing sticking out is this capacitor. Oh, that's a fat chance. Another place really is to go to the grid of the SK7. See what's there. .2 megohm resistor. Pin number 1, 2, 3, 4. Pin 4 on the 6 SK7. Pin 4 on that tube. Do we dare stick an antenna onto pin 4 of this tube? Do we dare do that? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the 22. There's the 22 meg resistor right there. I see it. So I know I'm at the right spot. 22. Top of the 22. Top of the 22. What do we hear? What do we hear? Top of the 22. To get in there without something terrible happening, I need a little something. Let's try this. By now I'm sort of growing my clip leads here longer and longer. Okay, we're going in. The whole time I can hear this coming out of the radio, so what is this going to prove? Wait. What? Isn't that something? I mean, I'm fooling around with the antenna, and the sound in that radio is just absolutely consistent. Hear it. What am I doing? Got this all backwards. Totally. I'm not somebody help me. I'm totally out of control here. And did the wrong clip. That's what I did. That's a little better. So let's get calibrated here. This is listening to the signal at the antenna. Okay, we'll leave it here. So we're working at 15190. And we don't, do we have this radio tuned into 15190? Come on, you can show up. Signal. I have to have the radio tuned to 15190 for the front end to be tuned to 15190 for me to chase the signal through the front end. There it is. Okay. Back down, back up. Okay, weak signal, so weak you couldn't hear it coming out of here anyway, but you can kind of hear it in the radio up above. Still hear it a bit. Now, top of the resistor. I didn't hear any improvement whatsoever. Okay, so we'll tune the radio on the assumption the front end is off, and maybe it'll come louder on the other shortwave radio. I hear no effect. They change bands. At least there's a clip there. Okay. 19 again. So what have I discovered? It sounds like the signal is just not making it to here. Where? Not making it to the grid of this tube. We're back from the grid of the tube. We get this resistor. That's where I'm connected, right on the top of this resistor. There's a capacitor right there. That's a fairly big one, 330. So what we'll do is we'll try to get on the other side of this capacitor, which is connected to the resistor. What are the chances we can do that? So, we look. I gotta change the focus. Sorry there, folks. Let me turn down this. Sorry there, folk. Let me turn down the, yeah, I already did. Jim, is there too much going on for you here this morning? Oh, I don't think so. Okay, we're going to focus in a little closer. We're going to look for that resistor. I got this too focused in. Yes, way too focused in. Hang on a second here. Adjust it so that the focus is where it is now. That's a little better. Okay, looking up here. So you can see the resistor. Can you not? There it is. See the two red, two green. 2.2. And then the clip lead is clipped above it. And I'm looking for a capacitor. Let me get the clip lead out of there. Radio's operating, Jim. Don't forget. In fact, I'm gonna. I'm in the front end here where there's really no, normally no voltages to be too worried about. He says working at the bottom of a 2 base with B plus on it. Yeah, so we're gonna follow that guy up. Well, there's a, look, it's a black one right there. So should we go after that capacitor and get rid of it and put in a so on the schematic, when we look at the schematic, and you see there's the 2.2, up 330 picofarad, that's the capacitor. But you see, everything is coming through that capacitor though. So why, if it's weak, why only one band? See, that just doesn't add up. Not adding up. So let's go further. Again, if this resistor were in trouble, you'd think all bands would be snafu'd. So if we follow this switch, what are they showing there? Okay, so very hard to see with the eyeballs. So off the line I'm about to point to. So off this line, it's a slightly longer arrow. Maintains continuous connection on this rotating piece here. The band of interest. Wow, what's going on here? So we have the tuning capacitor, one of the 3 sections of the tuning capacitor sitting right there. See, 14 to 455 picofarad. So there's 3 sets of plates on the tuning capacitor. This is one of them. It appears to be only switched in, what? Come on, at certain times? So if you watch the camera shake, you can see my heartbeat. There you go. You troubleshoot me while we're doing this. Well, that's because I have my arm pressed up against my chest while I'm holding the camera. It really does look like this section is only switched in when this control is turned, so the moving part intercepts number 7. And I couldn't find a note that says which way this is shown. Typically they would show this in AM radio mode. AM radio mode is BB. Hey, where's the A? Well, that's kind of interesting. There's no A here. No A. Now there's an A down here. This is the oscillator, so there's the A band oscillator coil. So I'm going to take a wild guess that things are quite different when you switch this radio to AM. Some things happen here. So, you know, I could at these switches for a long time. There's the 19 meter band part of this coil. I think you can see the way this works is as you switch up through these bands, you get more and more of this coil into the circuit. Well, that would certainly suggest that this coil is working fine because these other bands seem to work fine. Oh my gosh. Through connection. So sometimes when you see 2 switches like this, one is selecting the top of a coil and the other is selecting the bottom. You're actually selecting both sides of the coil circuit. Not here though. The one side is selected, the other side is grounded. But these are done that way. This is the oscillator coils. And these are the switches here. You can see the myriad of individual wires coming over. Same thing here from all these coils, top and bottom. And so as you rotate the switch, you're selecting top and bottom. So you know why these are all connected together like this kind of a funny chainy thing. It's a Dick Cheney thing. I don't know. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm doing? I'm just looking around, hoping something's going to leap into my head and say, "Hey, Jim, what about the 19 coil? What about the local oscillator being weak on the 19 meter band? Weak on the 19 meter band only." Well, you know, I can look for that actually. I can look for that on the SDR. I think we got to do that. Well, you know, maybe that's a possibility. Just weak, you know, if the oscillator's weak, the output products from the mixer tube here are going to be weak also. So we get a weak oscillator on the 19 meter band, weak period. Weak. Well, you know, maybe for a problem of weaknesses in the radio, you need a weak hypothesis to go at it. But first, while I was digging around in some old stuff, I found this kind of neat thing. How to use here. So this was for my sisters. This was their grow chart. But I wanted to show you this product. Of course, this is all advertising for this product. Crown brand corn syrup. Look at those, baby, toddler, almost teenager here. From high chair on through high school. In milk, on bread, with cereal. Serve Crown brand, K-Row, or Lily White. Lily White. I'm willing to bet there's no such product called Lily White anymore. Corn syrup daily. Why? All these wonderful reasons. To keep on playing actively. So corn syrup. Athletics, corn syrup. Truly balanced diet, corn syrup. Children love it. Doctors have been prescribing it for 2 generations. So that's what's missing in the world today. We got turned off corn syrup. We better get back onto corn syrup. Actually, I think corn syrup is in almost everything we eat. So there you go. Let's hear it for the corn syrup lobby. Strong then, stronger now. Okay. Back to what we were doing. I have something else funny to show you here. Hey, why don't I do it right now? Because I'm totally lost on the radio, so let me show you this. This is my Indian drinking license. That's what this really is. This is an Indian from India, not North American Aboriginal. Or maybe I got that upside down. Dated, initialed, stamped. So, and it's written, of course, in Hindu or whatever it is. So what this is in India, we went to a bar. Actually, it was our hotel bar. We're going to have a couple of beers before dinner, and we sat down and we ordered some beers. We noticed they had some kind of sale on a certain kind of beer. We ordered that. So the waiter came over, gave us our beer, he went away, came back a few minutes later with these. He gave one of these to each of us. He goes, "This is your Indian drinking license." We're looking at him like, what are you talking about? And here's the deal. Because they were selling alcohol on sale, the establishment was encouraging drinking itself. It was encouraging us to drink. It was more than just us choosing to drink. Because the establishment was encouraging drinking, they then take responsibility for the result. And how do they do that? They are forced by law to hand these out. We put this in our pocket. It's in my pocket. We take off and drive like maniacs through India. Everybody drives like a maniac in India. That's not really true, you know. They don't drive like maniacs. They just have a totally different structure for driving. It's much more like walking down the street is really what it's like. If the cop should pull you over because for some reason you managed to get up to 15 kilometers an hour and you produce this, guess what? Guess who's going to jail? Not you, not the drinker, the server. And they will use this to realize who served you the alcohol, and these people get in trouble. Isn't that interesting? So clearly the responsibility then lies with the servers, less so with the drinkers. Isn't that interesting? You should try that over here. I think that would be a good idea. Okay, now I've cleared my mind. Now I can allow new ideas to flood into those zones which I emptied out during the India story. New ideas are flooding in now. They're flooding in. Okay, there's so much of a flood. Things are drowning now. Things are drowning in my head. That didn't work. No sudden breakthrough has come through. Okay, so weak local oscillator. I could try this, you know, I could try this with the shortwave radio I've got going now. No, I'm not going to, because I'll be changing bands, and then that shortwave radio's band differences will start becoming an issue with any kind of test I'm doing here. Let's just look for the local oscillator on the SDR, which I have to get going here, and we'll see what we can see. We'll see what we can see. Oh my gosh, I've been going almost an hour. They haven't really gotten anywhere. At least that's how it feels. It feels like I haven't gotten anywhere. Okay, we have our 10 here. I'm going to put the SDR on the screen. All I'm going to be doing is poking around and then trying to settle this in here somewhere where it can sit. You know, somewhere like anywhere among these wires. Maybe it can sit right like that without touching it. Okay, let's see what we got on ye old SDR. So the SDR here is tuned to around 9.5. Nice, it's right on top of a signal. What is that? Okay, funny coincidence, but that's not where we want to be. We want to be up on the 19 meter band, which is 15 megahertz. Okay, somewhere, once again, right on the money there. I wonder if is that the local oscillator? How could this be such a coincidence? Now I'm going to tune the radio a touch. There it is. So you see everything is jumping around, but that big one in the middle there, that's the local oscillator. So the frequency of the local oscillator is get on there, 15,600. So if we subtract 455, we get 15,155. That's roughly where the radio's tuned. So okay, everything is adding up. Now we take a note of the strength of the local oscillator. With everything the way it is, the local oscillator, it's pretty darn strong. It's up around, say, minus 15 dB. I guess that's a dB scale there. Minus 15 anyway on the scale on the left. Now we will switch bands and find the local oscillator again. So what I'll do, I'll go up to this band. I'll find the oscillator somewhere up here. Somewhere up here. Oh, that's probably it there. Right here. Okay, so we'll verify that this is the oscillator by tuning the radio slightly. Oh yeah, that's got to be it. Never mind all that other crazy weirdness. Someday I will try to explain these very odd things that appear on the SDR when I'm doing this. Here's a local oscillator, and where is it? Well, okay, so this one's at minus 10, the other one was minus 15. I mean, really, is that a significant difference? Let's just try and tune way down here. It's minus 10 there, we'll go way up. Minus 10 there, minus 15 there, actually. Totally different band. And we'll go down to the 25 meter band. Somebody tell me the frequency of the 25 meter band. 9. I think it's 9 megahertz. I think it's 9. We'll go down to 9. See anything that looks like a local oscillator? Tune the radio a little bit. Anything moving? Down around 8.7. So if this is 9 should be up around 10. Should be up around here somewhere. This is probably it up here. Let me shut off the speakers to the SDR. This is probably it here. Tuned a little bit. That's probably it, and its strength is right up there, just a bit more than 10. So I mean, they're all in the same range. If there was a problem with the local oscillator strength on the 19 meter band, I think we would have seen it way down here somewhere. So local oscillator doing fine. It's another phooey, really. Oh my God, what is next here? He says, I'm throwing everything around at this point. Wow, this is really a. Let's go back to the camera. Well, I didn't get anywhere here at all today so far. Learned nothing but just confirming very strongly that the 19 meter band is weak. And that's about all. That's about all I got out of this. I didn't get anything out of it. Except I've eliminated something. I eliminated the local oscillator as being a. I believe I've eliminated it. You know, scientific thought. Nothing is ever eliminated. Everything is always possible, and anything could be wrong. Yep. I don't know. I think I'm going to stop here. I'm a little bit apologetic for a video that really shows you nothing much. And I don't know. I got to go away and think some more. How am I gonna nail this down? Thanks for watching anyway. Hopefully the next video I will fix this. Keep hope alive.